Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today, we'll be doing the same thing we do every Thursday, which is play in the Angel Cup, lose in the first or second round, commentate the rest of it, and go from there. A little bit later on though, we will be playing in the KC Cup. And once again, we are hurting for gems on the Rush account, so we're playing speed on the Rush account, which means not using a optimized deck, which is... I mean, it's interesting, right? At least we're not playing just like a good deck like everyone else is. But yeah, that's the plans for today. Let's see what we've got in chat. We have Brongshine. Hello, Tomato. I'm watching your stream. Hello, Brong. We have Gunkin Susupshari here as always. We have Jesse. Thank you for the follow, Jesse. And thank you for the follow, Hikari. Hello, what's the Angel Cup? The Angel Cup is a Japanese hosted Rush Duel tournament. I'll post a link to it in the chat. It will be starting in 5 minutes. It is a little bit difficult to sign up if you don't speak Japanese. Like, you can manage it, like Google Translating and stuff, but, like, basically, it's a single elimination tournament held by Moki Moki and casted by Apaki. And those two do create a pretty devastating duo. So that is basically what we do on Thursdays. We play in these tournaments. When we get knocked out, we have permission to restream the stream. We commentate over some of the games, and we go from there. Now, back in our heyday, we used to actually win these quite a lot. That hasn't happened in a while. So we just kind of play for fun. We just play with random decks, see how we do. Ideally, get to like top 8 would be great, but like even that doesn't happen too often these days. Yo, Tomato, what new Sevens Road have you mentioned? I mean, we mentioned specifically Master of the Sevens Road last time on Tuesday. I think that's the only thing I can think of. Be right back. And that is Dwan on a 10 stream streak. Hello, Dwan. Welcome on in. I suppose the first thing we could do is hop over and take a look at who has actually signed up. So we have our early birds in Bisma and Muten. We have Kuhaku, we have Shizri, we have us. Giorfio signed up. We have Great Dev, Dwan, Now, Riz, Hans. We got Hans signed up. That's quite an unusual one. We've got Ra down here. We got Gozu. Is there anyone else that we recognize from their name/picture? I don't think so. All right, let's convert it to English and see what we're looking at. Do we recognize any of these with an English name is the next question. I don't think so. I do not think so. There's a lot of names that we're not seeing, which is kind of surprising. Like, there's a lot of regulars that we have in the Japanese events, and just a lot of them just aren't here. And I'm wondering if there's something else going on. Is that Kuova? Welcome on in, Kuova. Caught us as we are just setting up. We're just getting ready for the Angel Cup, which should be starting in the next few minutes or so. But yeah, today we're going to be playing the like machine good stuff list that's been going around. We played it a little bit, but we haven't gone into it too much. So we're going to just give it a bash, see how it does. We're not expecting to do well because I think this deck is like, it's sort of built to be okay into Matarian, but I think it's going to have a really bad Galaxy matchup, and the Japanese players love Galaxy, so I think we're probably not going to be particularly suited to be winning here. Did you get a haircut looking fresh? Yes! We did get a haircut. We have got the new cut. We got a nice fade, looking quite nice on the side there. You can see my scalp bleeding through. Yeah. We have to get the haircut at some point because sometimes it gets a little bit out of control. The problem with my hair is I have a crown. Where is it? Like over here. I have a crown. And because of that, my hair, like, you know, a crown works. It swells around it. And because of that, my hair gets really big. Just like up this one half of my head. And so I have to like keep cutting it regularly. Else it does that. Because the back of my hair just ends up getting really long. So I also have really thick hair, which doesn't help. Also, let's go Machine Pile. Been having fun running it. What if Tomato got a low taper fade? Yeah? Is that what you think we should get? Also, hi. Hello, Beam. Welcome. That is a fresh cut on tomato. Thank you, thank you. Big man Neo. I'll give my compliments to the barber, right? I mean, that's where these compliments really deserve to go. I just had to sit there. I didn't really do anything. I was like, could you do the snippy snip and the cutty cut and the shavy shave? And he was like, yeah. And then this happened. So, you know, if anyone deserves the credit, it's him, really. I don't really do anything. Alright, so we have reached midday. At least for me. Which means the bracket should be up soon. Let me hit refresh and see if they've popped up. Okay, the brackets have popped up. Let's find out if we're in round 1. We are in round 1. So we will be going ahead and sorting that out. I'll leave you all in the dark for a little bit whilst I communicate to my opponent. Send that. And we'll send our opponent our pre-translated message. Okay, we've sent them our room code, so now we simply await their arrival. And let's go and take a look at these brackets real quick. So we have Hans with a bye. We've got Now playing up here. We've got Dev. We'll be against Rise, assuming we win, which is probably not going to be too likely. Dwan is in the bracket above us. Gozu is kind of the scary one down here, but this player, I think, also either won or came second place during the Archangel Cup. Hikari, Bismuth, Muten, that's pretty stacked. And then Raj Yorfio is quite an interesting game for the first round as well. But let's await and see if our opponent shows up or not. We've never had it in Angel Cup where our opponent just hasn't shown up. Okay, our opponent has shown up. Right, that is good. We have reached that stage. Oh, the swirly part of your hair is called a crown? It is called a crown in the UK. I don't know if other countries call it differently. Because we call... So, what a lot of the world calls bangs, or it's specifically America, we call fringe. So, like, I don't know if that's the same way you are. Let me see what my opponent has said to me. He has said, I look forward to competing with you. Thank you for the room. Lovely, lovely opponent we have. So he should be here in a sec, and then we will be jumping into our first game. All my life, I don't know how to explain that. Tomato got a brother for his brother. Respect. I mean, yeah. My ass has 2 crowns, both on the back of my head. Yeah, it's quite common to have 2 crowns. I don't. I just have the 1. Is that Corey we see? Hello, welcome on in, Corey. And is that Yugi Okai? Welcome, welcome on in, Yugi. Caught us right at the start of the Angel Cup. We're going to try and not embarrass ourselves, but we don't have a great track record, especially recently. Actually, saying that, I think we did get to top... We got to top 8 twice recently in Angel Cup, but they only ever bother showing off the top 4, so like making top 8 doesn't really feel like much of an accomplishment. We're just waiting for our opponent to show up. That's loser talk, we're winning. The thing is, so I don't tend to play the most competitive decks. New camera? No, this is not a new camera, but we have changed the lighting a little bit. We just don't have as much light on us at the moment, so we're going to look a little bit dimmer than usual. Alright. We're jumping into our first game. Let's see what our opponent is on. We're both playing Yuhi, so I'm expecting Sidra. Oh, we're both... Oh no, is this a mirror match? Or he could be on Cointech. That would be interesting. Saw all the new OCG stuff? Yeah. We looked through a little bit this morning. I haven't like gone through and read them all like in depth yet. Oh... The problem here is if this is a mirror and he is about to... Yeah, if this is a mirror and he slaps down any of like the 4 big pierces, our guy's a terrible defense. So we are going to get absolutely destroyed. Right, Ghost Cyclone. He did hit our Thunderspark. That's fine. Then Essel. Oh, Christ. All right, that is probably the best we could have hoped for. He got another Essel, and a reactor. So at the very least, there's no boss. If he just got to cheat out a boss, that would have been absolutely disgusting. And we're not bringing it back. So we're going to activate this just to take a look peek. That's completely fine. So all things considered, this could have gone so much worse. The big negative here is that we've lost our back row, which would have given us 6 cards going into the next turn. So we don't have 6 cards going into this turn. I mean, this is fine. It's not as nice as we would like it to be, but I think we have to get the boss out of our hand either way. We'll just throw a card into grave. That's what we're doing with this. We're probably going to be throwing more cards into grave with this. That's okay. So now we're going to go ahead and tribute 2. Summon out the boy. We'll set 1, set 2. Activate Innovator. And we're just going to have to do quite a lot here. It's just like, this isn't going to give us an extra boost, but we do want them back in our deck. I think we're going to do this. This is a little bit greedy. So this is spent. This still does things. So I think we always just clear the Torero. 2300 damage is not bad. Rush Prisma looks fun. It'll be interesting to see what it actually does. Why can't you play meta for once? So what we tend to do is we play all the meta decks at the start of the format. So like new product drops, we binge the crap out of all the meta decks, and then we just want to do something different, right? Because otherwise it's like 2 months of just playing the same deck over and over and over, which a lot of the time gets kind of boring. All right, are we going to lose the 50-50? That is the question. If we don't lose the 50-50, we are in a fantastic spot. Okay, we are really cooking with this list. Come on, just don't lose the 50-50. Go on. Come on, 50-50. He has no information. It is a blind 50-50. Come on, let me win the coin toss for once. Let me win the coin toss for once, please. I mean, if he lands it, we can't be too upset. It was a 50-50, right? But nah, never lucky, never lucky. Unfortunately, that is a lot of damage. Now, we can beat him back, but we need to draw well. This is actually pretty good, all things considered. How many light machines are we currently on? 1, 2, 3. So we can easily use this, use that to get it back. Do that. But then it comes down to, like, what we draw. Because I could get both of these out. Draw maybe 3 cards, but without another boss in hand, it does get a little bit sketched no matter what. How do we want to approach this? I mean, we could just go straight for this. See what the draw is. Because either way, I think we're discarding a Bicorn. Alright, let's go... Right, we're going to go Reactor. We're going to go Reincarnation. We're going to discard. We're going to take back the big boy. We're going to go ahead and flip over Barrage. We'll pop the original one. Okay. Unfortunately, if we just lost the 50-50, that's going to be really painful. Ooh. Ancient Gear Golem into grave kind of sucks. Okay, that's good. That's very, very good. So now, we can happily summon out Rhythmical Performer, activate its effect. Then we will Tribute 2. Summon this. We'll go ahead and use Jointech Rex effect. So we need to make sure we leave the correct cards in the bin. That's probably fine. Pop this. We're going to normal summon Bicorn. Activate Bicorn. So here, it's probably these 3. Tribute over this. Activate his effect. That's what, 38. So that's 4 plus 13, which is nowhere near lethal. So we're just going to set this. So this has to clear this. This has to clear this. Then we pass. Okay. This is looking okay, but if he just gets... I don't know if he's playing Innovator, considering he's playing the boy, the Sevens Road. But if he does, this could get very sketch. Both new Sevens cards and Prisma look great. I entry last minute. Nice, Hikari. Nice. Alright, here comes Sevens Road. So that's fine. Now, if he does have exactly the unicorn. What's it called? No, Gazelle. Gazelle, not unicorn. We would be in a bit of a sticky spot. So this is fine. Right now we can get a maximum of 900 damage in. That sucks. So, like, this isn't awful, but, like, any boss, and we were just, like, winning here. I could bring this out with an extra 1000 attack, which unfortunately doesn't actually do anything for me. So we are just going to be chilling. And once again, just hoping that our opponent doesn't have any... Because, I mean, we could gamble, but we're not gambling, right? We're not gambling, realistically. Okay, let's see what he draws off the top here. So, our skill basically puts more cards in the graveyard so that we can use Jointech Rex or we can use Mirror Innovator better. That's basically it. Because this deck has a lot of recycling. We have Bicorm that shuffles 3 in. We have Innovator that shuffles usually 3 in. Like, there's a lot of shuffling. Oh, okay. Now, this is fine. The downside here is our deck right now still has 2 Innovator, a Rex, and an Ancient Gear Golem. So we still have 4 boss monsters. And if we draw them all out at the same time, we are cooked. If that doesn't happen, we should be in an okay position. But if we do just draw all 4, that is catastrophic. Right, him having 2 back rows is fine. We have 2 back row hate. Alright, right, we just need to not brick. We just need to draw like 1 or 2 bosses. No more than that. Okay, there's 1 boss, so this is looking pretty good. I mean, we should just have lethal, right? We got 2 bosses in graveyard. I don't think we have to overthink this very much here. I don't really see a point in doing that. We could just go for this play as well, which is probably worth. So we'll go Imaginary Reactor. We'll go Barrage. Pop a back row. Oh wait, this doesn't work, does it? It's level 7 or higher, and he hasn't got level 7 or higher. He's got levels 5. I was like, hey, he's got a boss, that's fine. So does this matter? In which case I would always tributing this off, so I might as well go craft the drone. Activate the effect. We'll get rid of this because it doesn't do anything. That's realistically not doing anything here. I mean, but we still have lethal anyway. I think we're drastically overthinking this. We just... Actually, before we do that, just to guarantee everything, we'll do this. Yeah. Now that... Double ultra guarantees that we have lethal. We go for him. We go 1, 2, 3. Would you look at that? Plenty of damage. Alright. Game 1. Game 1 is done. Alright, can we keep this going in game 2? That is the question. What's the 5-star 2500 he summoned? Is that a new Summon Skull? Yes, it is Cybertech Alligator, which is Summon Skull with better defense, and it's a machine. So, you know, machine support cards work with it. Alright. I mean... We can't set this. Alright. I think we're going to do this. We are going to summon Rhythmical Performer. We're going to activate its effects. We will take a free draw. That's always nice. That is a really good draw, actually. We're going to summon this. I really want to get a machine in the graveyard. Okay, we've got machine in the graveyard. So now, we're going to Tribute 2. Summon this. Now, the downside with having this guy is if he does have a 2-card combo in Siesta Torero plus Harvey, he can still out this, but he would still need to get 3 monsters in the graveyard to do that. If he's able to do that, though, that's pretty bad. If we just set this, he can just use Harvey, look at it, see it's got 1500 or more defense, and then immediately pop it for free. So as much as I would rather set this, setting it means there's a high chance he just dies very, very easily. Now, the other play we could have done would just be just keep this in our hand, which arguably could be better. But then we're gambling, right? It comes down to, are we going to just not draw another boss next turn? Because if we do draw another boss next turn, emptying the hand becomes very difficult, and we could just lose straight up. So I do think it is worth summoning the Ancient Gear Golem here. Welcome back, Jesse. Ooh, yeah, unfortunately, us milling that has put us in a bit of an awkward spot here, and he's going to get a double draw here as well. Okay, as long as our back row remains, we're still kind of fine. We know as well that he's playing Ghost Cyclone, which won't be online now. So we're probably going to be okay. We're probably going to be fine. Wait, he only goes up to 29? That's pretty funny. Do we even bother dealing with this then? I think we might just let this go. He's going to out our guy either way at some point. Yeah, I think we just take this. We're going to take the 27. We're realistically probably not clearing his whole board anyway. So, like, I don't dislike that. But we have to keep him off of this. With our guy, though, that won't be an issue. So now it'll come down to how much damage are we willing to take on the crackback. Keeping these is probably worse, in which case we're just going to do these. I don't really want to go too aggressive. I don't really see there being much to gain from going aggressive here. But then again, Craft the Drone could just be a really good just tool in general. Let's go for the Craft the Drone at least. We're going to go Drone. I'm going to discard this. We're going to draw a card. Is it even worth using this? I think we will use this. We don't really care about his back row, but like we're going to have to get rid of it at some point anyway. And it was a really good one anyway. Is that Krusty Camper gifting some subs? We will pay more attention to that in a sec. We just want to finish out this turn. We'll clear this and we'll clear this. And then we will pass. Krusty Camper just dropped 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much, my friend. Really do appreciate all the generosity you always have
gifted 5 subscriptions.
Hope you're having a wonderful day, because you've just brightened up my day. We were already having a good day, but now we're having a better day. So thank you so much, my friend. And is that the 12-month sub? Yeah, we've actually been streaming now for 12 months. So you've been streaming the entire time, or you've been subscribed pretty much the entire time we've been streaming. Is the NA both games get fucked? I mean, yeah, sometimes you're just luckier, right? Now, we do, again, have really good back row to deal with exactly this. Yeah, that's fine, mate. You can get 600 damage. You can also kill that. That is completely fine.
Just subscribed
for this one, though, we are going to use Thunderspark, because this way we actually get to maintain our Legend Trap, which is so good. Thank you for the follow, Darth Victor. I mean, what are we doing with this? If we clear the whole board, then he gets to potentially pop our back row, which we don't have to do. Like, we don't have to do what he wants us to do. I think we actually just don't. Wait, can we kill? That's 14 plus 1,000. That's 24. We can't get another 2,000 damage, so we will not push right now. I guess we'll kill this just to get more damage in. If we could go for lethal there, I would, but as is, I'm quite happy with him just not being able to use Ghost Cyclone. So he's actually gotten a little bit lucky, because he hasn't, like, he's only drawn 1, and it was milled. But I want to keep this in place, and I'm pretty sure the only cards he's going to have that can actually deal with it are going to be exactly Ghost Cyclone and Rex. And this way as well, we can also get full value off of Rex. It also means that if we get our board outed, we can still deal with it. Okay, so he has drawn the Rex, which is fine. He's going to activate Rex. Boom, liking the sharp new haircut. Thank you, Krusty. Really appreciate that. Bottlerworks subscribe with Prime. Everyone's subscribing and following today. Oh, this is too much, guys. I'm playing in a tournament. I'm trying to concentrate. But yeah, thank you all so much. Really do appreciate it. Oh man. MP, I just randomly found you just because I saw the Meeg-chan deck. I'm the one mentioning Pierce. Yeah, I did see that. That was some cool insight. I haven't actually tried that.
Prime. Hit them with the royal flush. Checkmate.
Alright, we need to... Can we just kill here? I could pop this, swing over this for 5, swing over this for 9. That's 14. Do I actually still not have lethal? Brother, how do we still not have it? And Sam subscribing with Prime as well. God, everyone's subscribing. How do we not have lethal? How has this happened? Right, we're going to set. We're going to go ahead and tribute out our own Rex. Activate Rex. We just want cards back in the deck right now. I kind of...
S43H just subscribed with
like
Prime.
this, just to make sure that
Ancient
we don't
Gear
brick.
Golem MVP.
So let's do the maths again, just to double check. 500 plus... Swinging over that is 900, which is 14. 14 puts him down to 15, and we have a maximum of 12. So with that in mind, I think we are just going to set this. Then we're just going to go battle and just clear. I'm so annoyed that I haven't been able to, like, end the game the last couple of turns. He's used pretty much all of his back rope, so we should be fine on that front. Ancient Gear Golem MVP. Ancient Gear Golem is arguably, like, the absolute best. Like, just straight up. Hit them with the Royal Flush, checkmate. I mean, that's definitely the backup plan. Unfortunately, we're about to lose our Golem. This back row shouldn't be able to stop us. It doesn't matter anyway because we've drawn that. Okay. So... There's no, like, way that we can do absolutely everything and get super cheeky, so we're just going to do this. We're just going to set. We're just going to tribute to. We're just going to activate the effect. Pop the back row. Go to battle, swing, and swing. Oh, all right, we got there, boys. We got there, 2-0. And now we need to say a lovely message to our opponent. So we will prioritize sending that. We managed to win the mirror, except his deck was a bit weird because it had Seven's Road. So basically, we beat the off-meta deck. Now, unfortunately, we will be going straight into another game, I believe. We will save these replays, because I might want to do a video on this deck at some point. So now, let's see what our opponent said to us. They said... God, translating all the time. Thank you very much. Aw. Aw. What a lovely player. Alright, now we're going to jump straight over and see what's going on in the next round. Yeah, so our opponent is already there. So we'll hop in. See if he's already made a room. It looks like he hasn't made a room yet. So we'll start making a room and see what he says. Check room, copy room ID. Right, we've dropped a room. And so now we need to say... Lovely message to our opponent. God, Krusty Camper is just spamming bits in my chat. I can't keep up. I'm trying to play in the tournament, and I'm trying to read chat. We will catch up with everything, but unfortunately, I know Krusty's quite a busy person, so I know he's not going to be sticking around for too long. But I feel bad not being able to keep up to date while you're still here. Oh. Is our opponent in the chat? He's speaking English. Alright, so now we will come off of this. There we go. Got to go because I have stuff to do, plus I'm in the mood to rewatch Go Rush. I mean, everyone should be, really. Absolutely offended that I do not have 100% of your attention, therefore I take my leave. Good luck with Donny. Thank you for stopping by, Krusty. We'll have to catch... I say we have to catch up. I spoke to you, like, this morning. So, like... we don't really have to catch up. You know what I mean? Have a good one, and I'm going to wish you bad luck, because good luck gives bad luck. I'm gonna trust you on that. Okay, so this is Sidra. Barrage of Steel. Okay. I guess we'll start... Do we start Essel or do we start Reactor? Reactor probably makes the most sense. So we'll start Reactor. We will just fire off the Barrage of Steel straight away, just in case there's, like, some funny business. Okay, it was just a Barrage of Steel. We'll activate Reactor. Then we'll summon out Essel. We'll activate Essel. Oh, there goes our Legend Trap. That feels kind of bad, but we still get a free Rex, which is, you know, pretty good. We'll then Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Unfortunately, our last monster doesn't have any attack value, so we're just going to be swinging him with this. Oh, that is so annoying! Oh, that is so annoying! If it was anything else, we were fine. It had to be Golem. It had to be exactly the one of Golem. Oh, this is... this could get spicy. This could get spicy. Okay. Right, what's the worst case scenario here? Getting over a 3000 is not easy for Sidra. So, typically they don't run TSA. They'll play maybe a single copy. So their best way to deal with this is going to be either crash with his Golem, or you go into... I guess Assault Armored, like the cannon, whatever it's called, would be like the best way to deal with this. That would be perfect. But you'd have to have it. Alternatively, we'd... Oh, okay, we're going to go Assault. We're just going to go Assault. Wait, Search? Oh, if you've got Search and Assault, there's no reason to do this unless you have Search and Assault in hand. So he brings this back. Then he's going to use his skill. Actually, no, you don't use the skill. No, you never... Wait. No, using the skill here is good. Because you use the skill, boost this. Then you grab Proto. Slam down the Proto. Tribute... Oh, no, because you need... No, you need the Cyber Dragon engrave. Because Proto Cyber Dragon won't work. What? What? So now... Alright, so now... Yeah, but you still need to sacrifice this. What is he doing? This doesn't out Golem. I feel... Right, let's let him cook. Let's let him cook. I feel like he was in a good position with 5 cards in hand. And then... Christ. How many machines we got in Graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4? So, I mean, I could just summon one of these guys with a discount. I think that's always the play. So we'll summon. We'll activate. We'll get rid of 1, 2, 3. tribute over, treat it as 2 tributes. If we attack over this, use that, it's still not going to be anywhere near lethal. If we let the board die, we'd have 1, 2, 3. So we could use that to bring out another. I think we're going to use Innovator. We're going to put back just the Bicorn. And we're going to leave this in hand. Because that way we can better fix our hand next turn. So the logic here is, if he outs our board, both of these go to the graveyard. We now have 3 machines. We can then use Bicorn's effect to get 1 out, and then ideally draw 2 more normals to get out Rex. That's the logic behind this play. Whether or not this was the correct play or not, that's up for debate. Golem Showdown. Spent 5 cards to go from Ancient Gigolo to a smaller monster. Interesting. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. He outed his 3k we couldn't deal with. I mean, to be fair, we would have dealt with it this turn anyway, right? We had, like, the Innovator. But yeah, I do not understand what the logic there was. So, a single Assault Dragon outs this effortlessly. But we still, as long as we don't get OTK'd, which we shouldn't, we are still also fine to clear him on the crackback. So let's see what happens. This hand was very awkward because obviously we drew 3 high-level monsters, which it always complicates everything, right? There's an argument for setting the Bicorn. There's definitely an argument for setting the Bicorn, but it allows me to fix this hand. Returns a card to deck. Adds the Proto. Okay. But where do we go with this now? We've got a Proto, we've got a Sidra. Was this just to get 3 monsters on the board? Oh no, brother. There's so many good hands he could have that just deal with what we're doing, and he's just not seeing any of them. So now we're pretty chilling here, right? We could summon out all of our bosses if we want. I don't see why we wouldn't. So we'll go 1. We'll go 2. We're going to activate Reactor. Yeah, I'll draw 2 more cards. That's a great will. We'll take the free Pot of Greed. Not the best draws, but that's fine. Then we simply summon out Rex by using 1 and 2. We'll then summon out Bicorn, activate Bicorn. Put 1, 2, 3 back. So I don't really want too many bosses back in the deck right now. Yeah, I think this is fine. Then we'll go ahead and tribute the Bicorn. Oh, nope, didn't mean to do that. Alright, tribute this. Treat as 2 tributes. Summon this out. Activate his effect. We'll put... I think it's always another copy. We'll set this. Go to battle. Swing over this. Boop. Swing over this. Boop. Alright. I think we've got kind of a dream run right now. Let's see if this can keep going. Should we save the replays here? I don't even know if this is a replay worth saving, to be honest. It was a bit of an awkward game. Like, partially he got unlucky, and partially that, like, the play with the Cyber Twin felt a bit weird. Jesus, that was 6k on its own? Yeah. Well, it was almost 6k. Because we had the turn where we outed the Cyber Twin. But it was, you know, it's practically 6k. This is a very weird hand. Especially against this deck. This might be a non-game. Okay, we're fine. I don't want to summon Rex just because he outs this effortlessly. Like, a single Cyber Dragon outs Rex because of the skill. So, like, just spinning down into Rex just to have it die for free feels like ass. So we're going to do this. The punish is if we just draw a bunch more boss monsters. Then the Argamont over Sidra is 400, which we didn't need. Ah, okay, okay. if that's... Okay, just 2 monsters is... We're kind of chilling. If we can just draw a bunch of low levels, we are in such a good spot right now. I mean, it could be worse. It could be a little bit better, but it could be a lot worse. This only works with light monsters, so we can't just get a double on that, which kind of stinks. I guess we'll go for some mills. We'll go Boltricorn. Activate Boltricorn. We're going to target this. Let's wait for our opponent's internet connection. We'll go Barrage. We'll pop this. We'll go Barrage. We'll pop this. We'll go Rhythmical. We'll activate its effect. Unfortunately, that's what we would have liked to draw. Then we're going to summon out the Bicorn. We'll Tribute 1. Tribute 2. We're going to activate Rex. This is where it gets awkward. So I think I want to leave him in Graveyard because I just don't want to draw him again. I'll draw this again quite happily. Probably going to do something like this. We're going to pop this. Then we just go straight to battle. We're just going to swing over with this. And we're going to swing over with this. So, this board is extremely easy to beat. Extremely easy to out. Let's see if he does it. Okay, that on its own clears the Jointech Rex. The downside is here, he could very easily make a twin here, which is going to get a ton of damage in. There's a non-0% chance we do just die here. Okay, so here's the twin. It's all going to come down to what those last 2 cards are. What would he have to have? Like... double 1500 beta? I mean, I'm not dead from that, but... Ooh. Okay, this can't attack, so he's misplayed there by putting that face up. So we take the 21. Now, we just need to not brick here. We just need to not brick. Okay. I mean, it's not a brick. Alright, I think we always gamble with the Performer. Because if this pays off, it's huge. Give me a normal summon. Yes! Okay. That is actually ridiculously huge. So we summon this. We activate the effect. We send Rex to bin. That doesn't change much, realistically. That really hasn't done anything. We'll Tribute 1, Tribute 2. We'll summon Bicorn. Activate Bicorn effect. We'll go ahead and put these 3 back. We'll then Tribute over. See, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because if I set this and he summons out a Golem, I will just die. How much damage would this be if I just put all of these back? It's an extra 21. How much would it be? So that'd be 21, 45. 45 over that is 35, and then over that is 9. So that's not lethal. So I don't see a point in going for a lethal push, so we'll do this. Right, has he already seen his Golem? No. And we know he runs it, so I'm actually not going to play this card. Which also could get me punished quite badly. So this always is just going to kill this. And I think we do just kill this. It's less damage, but controlling the amount of Cyber Dragons is always really important. Again, the reason we haven't set this is because if he just draws Ancient Gear Golem, we do just lose. So now if he draws Ancient Gear Golem, he doesn't just get to kill us for free. We did leave him the Crafter Drone, so if this draw wins in the game, that is on us. Summons out a second crafter drone. Okay. Doing a big think. Understandable. This is a very crucial turn. So, once again, just Cyber Assault absolutely destroys our board. Like, Cyber Assault would probably just win him the game. But I don't think we've actually seen a Cyber Assault from him, so he might just not be playing it. There is a chance. Doing a big thing. Think this poor lad doesn't have it? I mean, there's a chance he doesn't have it. There is certainly a chance. Golem! Oh, I'm so justified in not playing the reactor. Unfortunately, this does create a bit of a weird board state now. That's pretty good. So this... The problem is, he could still have slime, which means we can't overextend. Because overextending is just death. So what we're going to do is we're going to summon out Reactor. We're going to activate Reactor. I will take another 2 draws. Unfortunately, that doesn't actually fix my issue, but we will just win the 50-50. If we hit slime here, we are golden. That was not slime. So I'll go Ameagle. We'll activate Ameagle. We're going to send this and this. We're going to special out the Mirror Innovator. We're going to set a back row. He shouldn't have any more piercing, other than a guy that would kill us anyway. So I think we're just going to set the Essel here. We're going to go ahead and activate Innovator. I don't really want too many big bosses in the deck, just in case. Alright, we swing. Nothing! We win the game! 2-0! Okay. We managed it. Oh, okay, okay. We got there. We got there in the end. Now, let's take a look and see how the bracket's doing. So that means we make top 8, because it's quite a small turnout for this event, but we have already secured a top 8 spot, which we are very happy with. And Gozu got 2-0'd. That is interesting. Gozu usually like makes top 8, top 4 in these events. Where Metarian / Galaxy? I want to see how it does against meta. No, we will dodge all meta, Promanicist. We will never have to play against meta. So one thing I will say is this list is the list that Parko used to win Grands. So we already know this deck can win. Will it win? That's a whole other question. I'm not as lucky as Parko. Parko is the RNG king. Shouldn't this have updated? This should auto-update, right? Oh, he hasn't approved it. That's all that's happened. Okay, that's fine. Alright, I guess the other thing that we should do is potentially go and take a look at the stream and see what's going on over there.
Hey, you got it.
Oh, loud! Alright. So we'll do this. We will change this over. If you bear with me a moment. Okay, so we can watch this for a sec. We can see Dwan! Dwan on the Strange Wall Galaxy. Ooh, exciting. We're going to have to make sure that our opponent actually does report. Does anyone here use Tonemel regularly? Does anyone know what happens if you don't? Like, does Tonemel, like, automatically do it after a minute? Like, thingy, or am I going to have to call for someone if this doesn't go through? Like on Start GG, it will, like, after a minute of them just not clicking it, it will just auto-confirm. But I don't know if it does that on this. I see Galaxy, and especially Metarion, win all the stuff, but when I play Metarion, I, like, brick every single match. I mean, it happens, mate. It happens. I've had one decent match with the deck out of 20 matches. Bruh, are we out, chat? No, we are not out. We are actually still in Beam. But we're watching this while we wait for our next game, and while we wait for our game to get confirmed. But I don't know if Tonemel is going to auto do this or not. Because this doesn't come up very often. It'll auto-update eventually. Okay, so I don't have to worry about contacting someone, right? It'll just do it. I appreciate you telling us that, Dwan, whilst also concentrating on your own game. Okay, so while we wait for our next match, we are just watching Dwan against... I don't know who his opponent is. Like, I don't know... I don't recognize the name immediately. It is so funny to me that people are chronicling their secret orders. Okay, here comes a second chronicled secret order. This one with the black steel trim. Meteor Charge here is kinda spooky. This is the downside of the 1500 and Transam Linak as well, is they both just have such low defense that you can get cheesed out of a win like this, which like really sucks. Alright, back into Le Miro. Also, this game is... This is already a top 8 game that we're watching. This is a top 8. We're not even played our top 8 game yet. We're still waiting. But Dwan in the Light Galaxy... I mean, it makes sense, right? Light Galaxy will shoot its way through games quite quickly. We've, like, stumbled our way into top 8. I feel like Dwan has, like, shot himself out of a gun. Like, poof, I'm going all the way, baby. I chronicled 2 different fusion artworks, a Cyber Twin and my Crusadia Equimax. So for me, because obviously I have a speed account and a rush account, I haven't used any of my Chronicle stuff on my speed account because I haven't really been playing on it. But the plan is to, you know, Chronicle, there we go, it's all updated now. The plan is to, you know, Chronicle my speed cards on the speed account exclusively and Chronicle my rush cards on the rush account exclusively. That's the plan. I suppose we got this time. We should catch up on some of the chat that we missed earlier. The Rio was in here. Hello, Tomato. Hello, hello. If you're still here. Bottler Works is obviously here. Obviously, again, thank you again for the... I mean, assuming Bottler Works is still here. I'm going to assume he's not, because, again, another very busy man. But I really do appreciate him stopping by. Meant to press C. Then Concentrate. Ancient Gear Golem MVP, 100%. Oh, hey, Sam, enjoying your lunch. I only run one, so it's DK. I am actually... Lethal. How are you doing? We're doing okay, Darth Victor. But I think Darth Victor did leave a little while ago. Is setting dangerous? It can be. Devil May Cry soundtrack. Banger! Oh, yeah. Lovely message. Easy GG clapped. Then we have... Scared after that. Oh, shit. Golem Showdown. I think we've caught up with everything. I think that's everything. I think that is everything. We've caught up. We've managed to catch up with the chat. Alright, Dwan is in a bit of a sticky situation here. We have 5 cards in hand, 1 card on the field, so 6 cards to work with. We do have quite an annoying board to chew through, and our life points are not looking super great, so if we do leave a low defense monster on the field, we could just die. I've chronicled Ashura Star and Uni Dreadnought so far, saving the rest until I have enough for a 3 of. So, I was under the impression that you could grind out any Chronicle, like, effect But I'm not sure if that's true anymore. Like, can you grind out, like, gold trim and gold text? Or are those ones you have to get from an event? And then you can grind out, like, the grindable stuff, like, you know, noise and shit like that. Because I want to grind out, like, gold trim, gold text on every card, because I think that looks amazing. Alright, so Dwan playing very reserved here. We did manage to clear the 2 big boys, and we haven't left anything really abusable on the field. The best he could do is get in 1400 damage by, you know, summoning out a Galactica Oblivion using Secret Order, Meteor Charge, Footman into defense mode. Oh, that's pretty damn good, though. And the fact we discarded Footman tells us we already have another, or we just don't have anything to do with it. Wait, have we gone through all of our Secret Orders already? Obviously, we missed the beginning of this game, but I think we probably used all the Secret Orders. Otherwise, why else would we do this? Yeah, looks like it. Also looks like the extremely cool red and blue text is KC Cup winner only. I don't dislike that personally. I like the idea of you're the best player, so you get to bling your shit and look cooler. The downside to that is how many people are ever actually going to get to see it. Like, how much is the KC Cup winner actually going to be playing, right? How much is he going to be jamming ladder? How much is he going to be playing in tournaments, right? Then make it a sticker or something? The thing is, everyone hates stickers. So if you make it something that nobody wants anyway, it's kind of pointless. Like, it has to be something that people want, that people would like to get their hands on, right? That's what makes it a good prize, right? Like, as for me, like, I would quite like to be able to, like, chronicle all my shit. I would like to have, like, gold text on everything. I think that would look really cool. I'd, like, really bling it out. I don't need that, right? Realistically, I don't need full arts. I don't need Overrush rares. I'll be happy if I get them. I'm not gonna, like, lose sleep over it, you know? I'm okay with the winners getting special color text. It's just their version of prize cards. Shows everyone that they do, that they're a winner. I mean, yeah. I mean, right, so the counter argument is, you know, the layman, the average duelist would also like them. And it's not fair that only a small subset of people get it, right? So, like, I understand, you know, from a collectionist point of view, you really want it. It looks really cool. But, you know, it has to be desirable, right? The text is one of the basic things, and they advertised it and made it sound like those are normal colors. I was hyped for red text. That is a fair argument. If they specifically put it in the advertising and made it or implied that they were going to be for everyone and then they're not, that is justifiable, right? You should definitely be upset with that. You have every right to be. 100%. 100%. Which, now that you mention it, I think they did do that with the Blue Eyes, right? The thing is, I wasn't, like... When Chronicles got announced, I was like, oh, this is cool. But, like... You know, I was more excited for, like, Go Rush coming out. What Go Rush characters are we going to get? Oh my god, Cyber Dragon, right? So, like, the Chronicles stuff for me was always an afterthought. So, like, I didn't, like, process it as being, like, oh, they falsely advertised this. Ah, okay. So... Dwan's opponent is going to be very much relying on his back row, because Dwan is now just a Meteor Charge away from having lethal. Why are we doing this? What's the point? Is this just... What? Is this just so we don't draw into it because it'll be a dead draw? So we're just like, I need to do this now? This is awkward. This is very awkward. Okay, so Transam Lineout gets to rush in. Okay, 1300 damage. 500 damage. And then nothing. start setting up my next room as we watch this. So, and there we go. Dwan wins it. So that will be either that was game 3 and Dwan will be advancing, or it looks like that was game 2. So there will be one more game to see who advances to top 4. Obviously, you know, we've got to rep our boy Dwan. We can't not root for Dwan. And now that we've sorted that out... Oh, our next opponent has been decided. So we will be swapping over to that in a sec. I want to watch the end of this game. This is the issue with spectating and playing at the same time. It's like, I want to watch Dwan playing. Why have I got to play the game? Alright, let's see what our opponent said to us. I look forward to competing with you. Aww. Okay, so we're waiting for him to join the room and then we'll have to swap over. I know everyone wants to watch Dwan, but... Alright, he is here now, so we will be coming off of this. And we will be beginning our duel. So, let's see what we're against. Since we're in top 8, we should start to expect to see more meta decks. This looks like it's probably going to be Warrior Fusion, which is not a bad matchup for us. We don't really do any special summoning. Don't worry, I OTK'd him turn 2. Oh, that's my man. Alright, how are we... This is a hand. I mean, you're realistically not doing anything for us. You're realistically not doing anything for us. And I guess you're realistically not doing anything for us. Now, the downside to this is, if our opponent has drawn well, we could take a ton of damage here. If he just goes Kimi Luna effects, use the skill, boost it up, like, we get absolutely clapped. It looks like he has bricked a little bit, though, but does have all the back row in the world. And we still don't have a boss! Ah! The chances are this thing has high defense. We would have to... The only play we have is either pass or gamble. The gamble would be we mill 6 cards, hope we find Monster Reincarnation, draw 2, hope we find a boss. What's the alternative? Like, we just draw 1 card next turn? I feel like no matter what, we have to gamble at some point, so we're going to gamble now. I don't think we flip this up. I think we'll just get a battle here. Yeah. We thought it was going to be a high defense. There was a slim chance it didn't have 14... Well, realistically, I think the average was about 1,000 defense it was going to have, so we weren't probably going to be over it anyway. Yami Ruler 0 defense, go for it. So, what we were expecting would be like a Piercing Samurai sort of thing. That's what we were expecting it to be. But it also could have been like Masaki or something, right? The issue is that even if I left these all set, what's the point? Like, let's go again. To defense mode, everyone. We pass. I mean, we're playing 6 bosses and we haven't found any. We haven't even milled any. So, like, this is just us low rolling, unfortunately. The issue is the back row. The back row is what scares me. Because he's got all of this shit, and he's able to protect it. Just like a lone Yamiterasu is fine. It's a Yamiterasu that's protected. That's the scary part. Okay. Neat. Star restart. Okay, he did have the second one. The thing is, where do we go with that? You can't do another fusion. We're just going to set 2 and use a smoke screen to hide a better back row. Or do we just have the third one? I mean, I don't even think we'd use it if we did. I think we just keep the Kimi Luna, to be honest. Unfortunately, there is our 500 attack monster face up. Not the best situation for us to be in. But, I mean, we've hard bricked, right? Like, what are we supposed to do in this situation? We have nothing but normal summons. There is a chance that we can get something going here, but, like, it's not a very big chance. We've got, what, a draw, a potential 2 draws. The worst part is, we're being spectated, which means this is now on stream, and this is the most, like, non-game of all time. Like, this is not interesting stream content for the main stream. Alright, there's Innovator. So that's something. I really need to get into another boss. So we're going to start out with Essel. Right, there's one boss to the bin. I really need to get Monster Reincarnation into the graveyard so that we can go for the double draw. And then use that to get into more bosses. That is what we're kind of hoping for. So for now, we'll go Performer. Activate Performer. Still nothing. Then we'll go for Drone. Activate Crafter Drone. I think we actually have to get rid of this. I mean, that's not bad. Still hasn't actually gotten us what we're looking for, but it's not bad. So we could distribute these. I mean, no matter what, we want to empty the whole hand anyway, right? So it doesn't really make much difference. We just set that. So tribute 2, summon this. We will summon Reactor. We're then going to tribute 2. Summon this. Activate Innovator. We'll put back 1, 2, 3 probably. He does still play Piercing is the issue. So if I set one, he could just go Piercing Samurai and kill us. He could also flip up and attack over us and kill us. So I actually think we just do this. So this is protected, and then this is the one where it could get stopped. And if it does, we're just dead. Yeah. So we're just dead on board. Okay, we tried. Alright, we just won't brick again. It's easy, we just won't brick 2 games in a row. That's all it takes, we just won't brick. Alright, we're going first. Now, we went first last time, we opened like double Essel, so... Christ almighty. Okay. We're going to go Reactor, activate Reactor. We're going to set. We're just going to make a Jointech Rex. We're going to sit on it. We will do this just in case it comes up. And then we'll just pass. This is unfortunately a really bad turn 1, but... Simply do not consent to the brick. I do not consent. What is... Get out of my hand, Innovator. You can come back next turn. Come! Bruh. It perfectly outs what we've got. Now, we do have an out to this, but we know he is going to have back row hate. We know it. We already know. You never draw a Legend Trap on turn 1 and keep it. That is just a rule of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or a rush duel, I should say. Oh, I mean... It just has double. Oh, his hand was actually double Nidoqueen, Kime Luna, Essel, and then whatever the last card is. Are you kidding me, bro? And this is going to protect the fusion. I mean, that doesn't really make much difference. Sadly, have to go already. See you next stream, hopefully. Hoping for some Zuijo leaks out of nowhere soon. Yeah, fingers crossed. Thanks for stopping by, though. Corey. It depends what that last card is. If that last card is good, then... pretty yikes. If that last card is, like, Yami Ruler, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, it's probably like a Yami Ruler, then. So we go for the widespread. Get rid of that. We take the 25. We just need to not brick here. And then we might be fine. Okay, that's fine. That is completely fine. So I can get this out for cheap. And then probably try to apply pressure with both of these. That's probably the line. Having more monsters is probably better here overall. So we'll go Bicorn, activate. We'll put back 1, 2, 3, I guess. Tribute over this. We're going to just drop both of these, because trying to play slowly against this deck is just the absolute worst thing you can do. You have to play aggressively. Sure, we'll put that back in that deck as well. Just more damage, as much damage as possible is the best chance we have. He's basically playing a control deck, so we need to just deny him as much as we possibly can. If the card in his hand is a Yami Ruler as well, then he'll be able to clear Innovator, but he has to leave it in attack mode. Warrior returning alive. Okay, that is super bad for us, because that now makes it very easy for him to clear absolutely everything. He knows our Legend Trap is gone. That shouldn't change anything. If he mills, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. We've already used the Legend to get a card back. Like, we've already got Nidoqueen Graveyard. It just does not matter. Tributes 2, summons it out, boosts its attack up, goes up to 26. Changes both of them. That tells me he's going to have piercing. Why would you change the lower attack one to defense mode unless you're going to pierce over it? Oh, we're just going to pop? Wait, then why wouldn't you change this to defense and get extra damage in by attacking with... What? I mean, it's a very minor change, right? Realistically, it doesn't actually matter, but it just seems strange to me. I mean, if we just draw a boss... Oh, he's put it in defense mode. Ah, that makes sense. That now makes sense. Okay, so he is concerned about us drawing it out. This also protects it from a lot. Like, that it won't die to... We can't crash into it with Rex. Do we have... No, we shuffled him back in, didn't we? So, what does this do for us? We could summon... He can only pop defense mode now. Which almost makes it not worth putting cards... This is actually really awkward. I mean, so, right, so we use Monster Reincarnation, we bring this back, we attack over it. That much is fine. That much is A-okay. How much damage will we actually get? So, that'll be in the grave. We'll have a 3, and whatever else we want, right? We could have a 3, and a 3. That'll boost it up by 900, up to 33. 33 attacks over this for 300. We then need to find... Because the issue is I have to lose one of these, so I could summon this, then just summon both of these, and then that's just lethal. Yeah, we don't need to overthink this. We really do not need to overthink this. So we'll go Monster Reincarnation. We'll discard. We'll grab this back. We will summon our 2 weaker guys. So we tribute this, because we're not going to have piercing, so we need the 2 to have enough attack combined, which they do. Put the 3 9s back in. Go to battle, swing into this. Swing in for 12. Swing with 24. Okay, okay. We're fine. We bricked game 1. We almost bricked game 2, but we didn't. We also need to go back and save the replay of that first game as well. Alright. Oh, game 3. Oh, we can do this. We can do this. We can make top 4. Alright, let's see what he's got. Let us see. We're going... So we've won the coin toss 3 games in a row. So we've at least got that luck going on our side. If I was to draw another boss, this is kind of okay. Like, this is a little bit awkward because I'd rather not have a load of Surge Blycons in the bin. But I don't think I really want to be summoning Mechlord here, realistically. Again, this is risky because if we do just draw, like, another boss or another 2 bosses, the game is over. But, like, dropping Innovator turn 1 always seems like the wrong play. Remember, his turn 1 last game was Essel, bring back the boss. I mean, this is fine. Like, we won't be able to use this, but that's fine, whatever. If we keep all of our bodies as well, that's really nice for us, because we'll have 9 cards going into the next turn, which, again, is completely fine for us. Oh, okay, we're going to attack over one of them, just using this, is that it? Or are we going to go straight for the fusion? If he goes for the fusion, that is the biggest throw, unless that card in his hand... Okay, he's not going for the fusion. Okay, we're fine. Well, he's fine, I suppose. Why didn't he declare an attack at all? What's his logic here? He's just planning to... Because I could use this, right? We could just special summon this out. So we'll flip this up. We'll go Barrage of Steel. We're going to pop this. We'll flip this up. We'll activate Ameagle. We're going to send this. We'll bring this out. I don't think there is a reason to use Reactor here, because we can't Tribute Summon anyway. So I think we're just going to play it safe. It's going to set a bunch of cards. We're then going to activate Innovator. I'm probably just going to put this back. And then I think I'm just going to attack over this. This might end up being the wrong choice, but I like getting rid of that more. Because he still gets to keep the Needlecree, which means he can just use the skill again, but, like, that's fine. Oh, okay. So we are on the Witness version of this. Okay, so now he can use the skill, get back the fusion, pop 2 of our guys. That's fine. We have the reincarnation for next turn. Unfortunately, he did win the 50-50 and flip up the Blycorn, which is like an extra 200 damage. Realistically, it doesn't make a huge difference. Activates the fusion. 2 cards left in hand. Now, again, it's the 2 cards in hand that we have to be worried about. Oh yeah, we were stupid to pop the back row. We already knew what it was. We hit it without even thinking. That was just really dumb. Now we don't have it for these. Okay, that's fine. I like letting him know that we have a back row that's usable back here, because then he'll overthink it probably. That's actually really nice draws, to be honest. So we'll always start with Boltcorn. We'll activate Boltcorn, milling it. Oh, for God's sake. We'll go Barrage of Steel. We will pop this. We will... If we use Reincarnation, what are we grabbing? It kind of has to be this, right? Well, normal reactor. Activate reactor. Put this back. Draw some cards. Not bad draws. So we'll go ahead and tribute both. Summon this. We'll then summon drone, summon drone. Tribute both. Summon this. Activate Rex. Put these 3 back for now, I think. Mind you, do I even need these? Probably not. Put like you back. Let's take a look at this. We'll activate the skill now, just because we can. Activate Mechlord Mirror Innovator. And realistically, I think we're just going to put back these. Swing over with this. Swing in with this. Alright, we're in an okay position, but if he does exactly another copy of Kime Tarasu, he outs this without even having to think about it. Alright. What has he got in hand for us? He knows this is live. He knows our back row is live. He knows it's not a legend trap. So he should be thinking this is probably slime. Like, if I was him, I would think this back row is slime. With, like, a small chance at something else. Oh my, please do not. Do not just have another Needle Cree. Do not tell me you just drew another Needle Cree. If it's not Needle Cree, this is, like, kind of fine. I mean, again, this is still kind of fine. So, my guess is he's got a 1500 vanilla in hand. He's going to slam it down. Try and attack over probably this with the... Well, it doesn't really matter which one. Try and attack over one with, like, the 1500 vanilla that's been weakened. And then use the 26 to attack over the other one. And then we can punish with Spark. Straight to battle. Okay. There's no reason to do that. So we just take the 16. He already knew that was live, so there's no reason to try and hide it. Even though, again, you can just see it anyway. Oh, these draws today, brother. Okay, 1, 2, 3 with 4. We just have lethal. There is nothing he can do to stop us. So we'll summon. We'll activate the effect. We'll go 1. We'll go 2. We'll summon out the boy. We'll activate his effect. 1, 2, 3. We'll pop the back row. We'll summon. We already knew what that was as well. I don't know why I'm playing so badly that we're forgetting what our opponent's back row is. Swing. Swing. GG. And that is a 2-1 victory. Let's communicate with our opponent. We'll save that replay. We got to go back and make sure we get the first replay as well, because I want the loss. That's twice we forgot about Polly. Yes, that's just us being really stupid. It is something we do a lot more on stream. Whenever we're on stream, we make really, really stupid mistakes. Not saying we don't just make stupid mistakes in general, but they are a lot worse on stream than when they're not on stream. Let's see what he said to us. He said, "Thank you for the match." Okay, now let's jump back over to here. And I suppose first things first, we'll go and see if our next opponent is decided. Looks like it isn't. It's going to be the winner of Bisma and Ra. Okay, that's going to be exciting. So we'll hop back over here. Is this the Bismuth Ra game? That'd be so good if it is. Streamer debuff. Yo, are you still in? Yeah, we're still in, Giorgio. So this is... Oh, we're watching Dwan again. So this is the semi-final match with Dwan. We have made it to the semi-finals. We top 4'd, which is good, considering we had no aspirations whatsoever of doing well in this tournament. So we've already exceeded my expectations. We still haven't actually played against like a real meta deck yet. Like we played against the Sort of Mirror, then we played against Sidra. I guess Sidra was meta, but it was like a bad Sidra. Then we played against Warrior Fusion, which again is sort of meta, but it's like not the big 3. Nice. Is there anything interesting in top? So top, so this that we're watching right now, this is a top 4 game. So this is semi-finals, and this is Metarian Galaxy. We're playing Machine Good Stuff, and we've made top 4. And I have no idea what Bismuth or Ra are on. I assume you know what Ra's on, considering, you know, you played against them already. Okay, so it looks like Ra's opponent has summoned an Ashura Star. Ashura Star's got 4100 attack. Why does it have 4100? What? Oh, because he's absorbed the 1300 from the one guy. Okay. Warriors is more flavor of the week than meta. I mean, so Warriors has like 2 or 3 really, really good matchups, but it has one really, really catastrophically bad matchup. So it's like kind of around. Props to Japan for making a deck Parko stole that Tomato stole, and we're using against them to win their own tournament. I mean, basically, this deck was built, or was basically constructed to be a point battle deck that is meant to have a good matchup into Metarian. And that was the beginning and the end of the conversation. Yeah, you see it a lot on ladder. Don't know about tournament rep though. Yeah, it's you see it a lot in point battles, or at least we have seen it a bit in point battles. Because you got to remember, we were having daily point battles for a while, so we did get to see a lot of different decks in a very small space of time. I will say, though, that there were a lot of people that were experimenting with this. So, for example, I was playing a similar list to this. I'm not going to say I played it before anyone else, or, like, I created the deck or anything stupid like that. But I was playing a similar list to this with, like, the Jointech. Like, I was not using the Jointech skill, I can tell you that right now. I think I was using Hammer Crush Deal. But it was basically, like, you know, 3 Innovator, Ancient Gear Golem, and the Jointech Rexes. Like, we've been experimenting with that for a long time. I know that Voltalon was one of the first people to play it in a point battle. To be honest, all these decks that are supposed to be Metarian counters don't actually win versus Metarians. I mean, it depends, right? Like, some of them do, but they just don't win enough. Like, when you sit there and you're like, this deck counters this deck, what you really want is, like, 80 to 90% win rate, right? Realistically, you get, like, 60, 65% win rate. And it's like, 60 to 65% is just not really enough for you to be like, oh, this hard counters it. It's like, this has a favorable matchup. That's kind of the best you get. I mean, yesterday I was doing decent with Inferno Dragons, but it's because Metarian bricked one game. I mean, yeah. That is all just part of the game, right? Realistically, Metarian, I think, is unquestionably the best deck right now. But there are some decks that lose super hard to Metarian, and some decks that don't lose as hard to Metarian, right? I think that's what it comes down to. Because, like, there is no such thing as, like, a hard counter deck at the moment. Like, if you take, like, Warrior Fusion, for example, that deck can hard counter you if you don't draw the out, and if you're playing a specific deck, and if it draws the God Hand. If it doesn't do all of those things, it doesn't hard counter shit, realistically. So, like, it's like soft counter / has favorable matchup is, I think, the best you get. And even the deck we're playing is just kind of a good stuff deck that can play a bunch of piercing, which means you can play around stuff, which is, like, nice. But piercing's just really strong, right? Unless your cards say your opponent can't fusion, or this card type cannot be changed, there's always a chance for Metarion to blow you up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, even the Warrior Fusion deck, like, even if you get out the Yamaterasu, it doesn't actually just, like, win. Like, it's so easy for Metarion to just get rid of Yamaterasu. Well, I say easy. It's not hard. It's not necessarily, like, every turn you just draw 6 outs to it, but it's like, drawing a hand that outs it is not unfathomable, right? You will do it. Alright, we pop the back row. We lose the Strange Wall, which actually does kind of suck. So now we'll just pop the other back row. We had double back row hate, so there wasn't any sniping needed. We didn't use the skill, so I believe this should still be doing damage, which means this is just going to end the game. And I don't know if this is game 1, 2, or 3. Unfortunately, Duan will be losing this game. It is still to be seen if that was it or not. It looks like that was not the final game. Since we're lingering. We're waiting for another game to pop up by the look of it. Alright, I have no idea if this is game 2 or 3, but we'll just see what happens while we wait for our opponent. So we are still waiting on Ra and Bismuth. Oh, it looks like that game has just finished, so we will be jumping into our game now. Alright, we'll slam that in the chat. Then we'll wait for Bismuth to accept it. So Bismuth managed to beat Ra, who did manage to take down Giorfio. So we don't know what Ra was on, but whatever it was, Bismuth did manage to take him out. Bismuth, obviously a very strong duelist. We are waiting for him to join the room, though, so there's no reason to stop spectating for a while. What are we looking at here? We got the Strange Traveler, weaken the Sword Dancer by 500. That does represent a big chunk of damage, and this is typically how you want to play this. Bismuth is usually on Metarion. Yeah, Bismuth was the first person to be consistently using Call of the Earthbound in Metarion. He was seeing some decent success with it. I remember he played Earthbound. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's some big damage. We get in for 2,900 on the turn 3. That's not what Metarion wants to see. They don't want to get rushed down. They do somewhat have to find all the combo pieces, and if they don't find them early, it can get a little bit shaky. I don't really like it, to be honest. It's one of those things where if it was good into everything in the meta, I would like it. But right now, like, it has some okay use into, like, Galaxy. But there are, like, some decks that just don't care about Call of the Earthbound. Alright. Let's go in against Bismuth. Obviously, fantastic player, fantastic guy. Looks like he is going to be on Metarion. This might be the end of our run. But we've already, again, exceeded our expectations. So we can't really be much happier than this. I feel like Metarion mirrors don't really win because of Ashura. I find that they do, but it's not because of Ashura OTK. It's just like Ashura popping cards. Or at least like back row a lot of the time. Because if you can deny your opponent just a ton of resources, it can just win you the game. Let's get Rhythmical Performer. This deck should have a high chance of... Of course not. I don't know if we want to use Drone. The downside is... Right, we are going to use Drone. We're going to get a little bit greedy and hope we don't get punished for this. We're going to send this. We're going to draw. That's fine. We're going to Tribute Set. So this gets punished by Ashura Star. But it doesn't get punished by any fusion plus TCB. It doesn't get punished by... I guess it still does get punished by any fusion plus the skill to gain the turbo. No way he Ashura turns 2. I mean, he definitely could. Hercule wins the mirror in most cases, either outs 2 fusions or floods their deck with garbage, so they can't make plays consistently. No, I'm sorry, Manicist. I didn't see you in this game. I didn't see you in the tournament in top 4. I'm losing to Vritristar, TCB, Sword Dancer, Dej. Yeah, that is a rip. That is a hard rip. Activates the fusion. I have no idea why we've brought Imaginary Reactor into the game. I feel like you don't need it, like, at all. And it's just like, it's Pot of Greed as well as making the fusion so much more consistent. Like, Reactor is so crazy. And, you know, we're playing it in our deck. That's how crazy this card is. Yeah, it's called a job, unfortunately. Or maybe you should get a better job. So he's flipped over this, which will get him a lot of damage in. Those 3 cards could just be an Ashura Star. But, like, they also just couldn't. That makes it a lot more likely that he's going to have an Ashura Star. Okay, that now means it's a lot less likely. So is the last card in hand going to be... Okay, so we're just going to make a second. Oh, that is... Wait, this is fine. We are so fine. He was not playing around Gear Golem at all. Hello. It's me, Gear Golem. And Jarl was saying Golem was the wrong play. Did we go for a draw? I don't think there's a good chance we see that, so I think we probably go for the Crafter Drone. Okay. Reactor. Activate Reactor. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Now, the downside here is we are not playing around Thingy at all, but, like, we can't just let him do whatever he wants, right? We have to go aggressive. Thank you, music. Appreciate that. Let's just go full aggro. Like, we're dead to a Thingy combo anyway, so it's like, why not? We'll do this as well. Yeah. We'll just swing. We'll swing. And we'll just swing. This is fine. Now, if we had some back row, we'd be feeling a little bit better. But we don't. So we're just going to YOLO. Is that type change beam? Oh man, that's crazy. Oh man, is that Sword Dancer? Oh man, is that Fusion? And this is why Metarian is a scummy deck for scummy players. And anyone that defends Metarian is scum. I'm so sick of the Metarian apologists, bro. Just being like, oh no, but if you don't draw Fusion, it doesn't do anything. It's like, defending the just OTK play. It's like, okay, bro, okay. He had no cards as well. That was just hard drawn off the top, just the whole combo. I mean, we could have played around it better, right? We had the tools to, but it would have meant basically just giving up the Golem and just having 2 defense mode monsters. We would also have to leave him with a Vritristar. I just think if the deck was not tier 0, it would be really cool. Yeah, I genuinely think, like, so first off, Reactor is a problem. Reactor is too good, straight up. Like, a 3+2 is insane. And Type Change Beam is just cringe. Like, Type Change Beam plus Ashura Star is just cringe. Well, this is not the tastiest open, but we get the whole hand empty, so that's fine. I like the playstyle of being a full fusion deck. Yeah, I think everything outside of reactor and gun is really cool in this deck. I absolutely adore it. I hate it, and it was the same problem I had with Royal Rebels, right? Which is, again, I like playing Royal Rebels. I hate it when you play against a deck that says, if you do leave monsters in face-up attack position, I'm going to punish you. And to me, Rush is all about summoning 3 monsters in attack position. So whenever you're against decks that say, no, you're not allowed to do that, I'm like, this is against the spirit of Rush, right? This is now just anti-Rush. And it just feels like ass. How do we want to proceed here? We got a bunch of different options. We obviously summoned this. We could use that to get a draw. Let's flip Essel. See what Essel hits. We'll flip Drone. Activate Drone. Just going to get rid of Aim Eagle here. I mean, nothing particularly interesting happened there, unfortunately. So, I guess we'll flip over Barrage of Steel. Let's hit this. Then we're going to normal summon by tributing both of these. We'll activate the effect of Rex. We'll put probably these 3 back. We'll go ahead and pop this. We're going to activate Joint Tech Charge. Then we are just going to activate Barrage of Steel, because I want him to have as few resources as possible. Then, screw it. We're just going to go aggressive again. It's not about winning and losing. It's about sending a message. So we know these have 500 defense. Now we'll just get in for the 25. And we'll pass. Coming from the man who played Noodle Burnstall. Listen, Noodle Burnstall was literally developed as a counter, as a literal out to the actual toxic decks of the meta, that being exactly Magnum Overlord, of which this deck is Magnum Overlord 2.0, and Royal Rebels that wiped you for playing 3 attack position monsters. If you actually can't fathom that, I'm sorry, Manicus, you are just an idiot, right? You are genuinely an idiot if you don't believe that. Okay, 3 more back row to chew through. I mean, that's fine. If we can draw a boss, like, we're in a really good spot here. If we draw, like, exactly Golem, that's pretty tasty. Yeah, most of the skills go +1, but Reactor is a +2. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's good, but now it's kind of like a 33 of if we hit, like, quote-unquote, the good one. We don't really have a say in this, so we just do it, I guess. Go. That one. Now, unfortunately, we didn't hit a good one. Do we have a boss in grave currently? We don't. Let's fire off Essel. Okay, there's a boss in grave. So we'll go ahead and tribute these. We can get another double draw. Do we want that right now? I'd have to leave this face up. Let's just YOLO it. I don't think it matters. We don't really care if we win. So we're just going to, like, go for it and see what happens. You know, sometimes you just get rewarded. Unfortunately, there's not really much else to do off this. Like, we can just shuffle some stuff in, which is fine. It doesn't, like, force lethal or anything. I don't think we're planning to gamble any more than this. So we always swing with this, because this guarantees this gets through, and then we'll see if he's got anything, which he does. And it was the negate attack. Okay. So the chances of us actually, like, winning there would only have been a 33%er, which is, like, fine. So if he has back row hate and a Sure Star combo, we are just dead. But we have hit 2 of his type change beam. So, like, you know. Hello, Mr. Tomato. Hello, chat. Hello, Sakadetsu. Now, I'm not being an idiot. You're being a little hypocritical, though, saying Metarian goes against Rush, then playing a stall deck and burn combo. Manicus, I don't know. I really don't understand you sometimes, bro. It's like, we don't like your deck. I'm sorry. It's just true. You're playing the scummy deck. You have to just accept that. Move on. Wear it like a badge of honor. A lot of people really enjoyed the Noodle Stall deck. It was a fun deck. And again, it wasn't like stall. Like, it had like 3 cards that stopped you from attacking, and that's it. Like, stop crying about it, bro. Jesus Christ. If you legit think that was worse for the game than Metarian as well, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. Like, Metarian is actually like tier 0 toxic as fuck, and like, Noodles was never even the best deck in the game. And you're still crying about it. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, so it comes down to that back row now. And that pretty much seals the game, right? We know that that's going to have 0 defense. So we'll go Performer. We'll activate it because we can. We'll go Performer. We'll activate it because we can. We'll Tribute 2, summon this, activate the effect. Don't really think it matters what we put back in at this stage. 1, 2, 3. Pop this. I mean, it shouldn't matter, right? We just activate this, get Piercing, win. So I'm just going to try and not waste everyone's time. Yeah. Okay, so 1-0. I mean, we weren't expecting to win that. We were playing very fast and loose because we were just expecting to lose. But, like, apparently it went alright, so we'll take it. I like Noodle, Burn, and Metarian. Again, I think it's like we were saying, me and Jorfia were both literally just saying, Metarian is a really cool deck. But the +2 from Reactor is too good, and Type Change Beam Ashura Star combo is super, super cringe. Like, it ruins the fun of the game. That's just... Like, nobody is like... We hate Metarian as it is right now in the game. We don't hate Metarian, right? I think that's the key takeaway that seems to get lost, and it just turns into people being like, oh, you're just hating on Metarian. It's like, I want to like Metarian. How do we want to approach this? We don't really have a good board. If we use this first, we increase the chances that we get into... Also, the chances we get a draw off of Performer is really high. We'll take the draw. That's not the best draw, unfortunately. Alright, we have to really hope this hits something. Okay, that is really lucky. We'll take the luck. I actually think we might not special summon it. I think we're going to summon the Crafter Drone. We're going to activate Crafter Drone. We're going to discard. We're going to draw. We're then going to activate Monster Reincarnation. We're going to take back Innovator. We're going to Tribute 1. Then... I don't think its defense value is going to matter. So we'll Tribute this. We're going to activate Innovator. We'll put one of these back. And then it's like, do we just YOLO again? Like, we could just YOLO. I want to YOLO, but we're going to play it safe. Let's get him for 3,000. That might end up being a mistake. We'll have to wait and see. We stand with the machines. Oh, there's not really a topic. We're just talking about decks we didn't hear in the game. I see, for example, if Warriors were more Floodgatey, they'd be Tomato's most hated deck. Yeah, it's one of those things. I hate it when a Floodgate stops you from playing the game straight up, and it's literally have the out or get screwed, right? That's the kind of Floodgate I don't like. I don't mind Floodgates that are kind of... Like, they're restrictive, but you can still play the game under them. That's generally like my do like floodgates versus don't like floodgates argument. I don't like Saki beam combo, but I do like how beam turns on most of the time dead second effect. The thing is, this is something you've said quite a lot, Anarchist, is that the first effects of all of them are like really bad, and like the second effects are amazing. When it's like the first effects are really, really good, and the second effects are like game ending. Like that's sort of the difference, right? I think you really downplay how good the first effects are. Like, obviously, you know, Hercules stands out as having quite a bad one. I see. Well, I know there is a special summon counter deck. What can do a little stall? I think most fun burn deck is Vulcan Maximum. I think that's the thing for me. I have always liked burn decks that attack, right? Burn decks that just turn everything sideways and never do anything, really boring. Burn decks that attack and go aggressive, I've always really loved those sort of decks. Like back in the TCG, I think Blackburn was like the first version of this, and it was like use Caius, use like Des Koala, I think it was, which like does a burn effect, also just as a high defense, there's a good chance it sticks around to be tributed for like your Monarchs. The plus from Reactor is fine without drawing into Beam OTK. The plus from Reactor is actually not fine. It is unbelievably incredible. It is a body that has Pot of Greed, a legend spell attached to it. That is not fine. Like, that is amazing. Especially at this stage, where we barely have any plussing going on. It is actually insane. Because, yeah, as much as you don't like it, the deck doesn't play without fusion. I think they designed it in mind to keep... Yeah, but the problem I see with that is every deck doesn't play without seeing something, right? My deck realistically ain't going to do anything unless I find Mirror Innovator. Dragon Fusion isn't going to do anything unless you find Dragius. Spellcaster Fusion isn't going to do anything unless you find Swordsman of Roadstar, right? Every deck has to hard draw into something. So, like, it's just really underwhelming when it's like, oh, we don't get to play without Fusion. It's like, well, yeah, everyone has to hard draw something. Like, it's not like everyone just gets to use a skill to completely do their entire combo on its own. Obviously, Beam is an oversight. I would like to point out that I've only ever won tournament without Beam in my deck. And that's completely fine. Again, I think there's a lot of people in chat that really like Metarion. They just don't like Beam. This is a bit of an awkward spot we find ourselves in. I mean, what are the chances? What are the chances we could just attack over? We haven't seen any traps yet. He's got 3 cards set. We have no way to pop back row. We do have that, so we can go for a double draw. I think we always have to go for the double draw. But if we don't draw into a boss, it puts us in a really awkward spot. Alright, we're gonna gamble. We've made it this far, we're just gonna gamble. Put this back. Draw 2. There's no boss, but we have got double back row. Eshel's kind of pointless. Man, a boss here would have been so tasty. Like, literally, it doesn't win the game, but like Ancient Golem would have been so good here. Alright, we'll go for Innovator. I mean, do we just go for lethal? I think we just go for it, right? Yeah. If it's negate attack, it wouldn't have mattered what we did. If it is... Yeah, so it did not matter what we did then. Chances we survive are now next to 0. Next to 0. It's fine inside Metarion. Limit 3. No, it's not. I think that's the other thing. It's not fine inside Metarion. You think it's fine inside Metarion. It's not fine inside Metarion. Go Huck Up will be really pain. We have Rian in Graveyard. Yeah, we did have Rian in Graveyard. If we had drawn a boss, we would have been in a really good spot. But without drawing a boss, it was always going to be like a really bad situation there. Okay, we got a load of replays though. We're quite happy with that. Let's drop the GGs for Bismarck. What if back row was dead? I mean, if the back row was dead, we would have won the game. Yeah, but you got to draw 2 to 3 specific cards to make a fusion. Dragius, Mirror, etc. You can draw 2 random low levels, and it's fine. Metarian are more restrictive in design, but the skill makes it seem like they are not. If we took away the good skill and beam, deck's too slow. The thing is, we want to take it from almost... yeah, but we did make top 4. What I would like to see is... I just need to make sure I actually approve this. Because I clicked accept on the result, but it didn't go through. If I do that... Okay, that's fine. That's all fine and dandy. Alright, we'll bring this up. We'll open this so we have this ready. Alright, what are we talking about? So Metarian right now, I think is arguably... I'm not going to say it is. I think it is arguable Metarian is tier 0. Now, there are some people that will say Metarian's a solo tier 1 deck. There are some people that will argue, you know, it's one of the big 3, and Galaxy is also like a tier 1 deck. So, you know, if there's 2 tier 1 decks, it's not tier 0. But I think at the very least, its performance has shown us it is arguably a tier 0 deck. What I would like to see is that deck get hit. Now, in an ideal world, that deck would go down to a solid tier 1 deck alongside like Galaxy and like Cyber Dragon or whatever, right? Whatever else we're going to have in the tier. But if they had to over-nerf it to make it a little bit weaker than that, put it down to like a tier 2 deck, I also think that would be fine. I don't think just because, you know, we really like the deck and the deck can be really cool, doesn't mean the deck has to be like tier 0 forever. Let's also go and check out the results of the rest of it as well. So I do want to double check, just see. So this is the finals. Dwan unfortunately did get knocked out of finals, which is a shame. So this is the guy that beat Dwan against Bismuth, who knocked us out, and this is going to be a Metarian Mirror. Limit 1 Beam, Limit 2 Assura, Limit 3 Reactor. Again, I still think that Reactor is still too good. +2 is insane. I know you don't think so, but +2 is actually insane. I think Limit 1 Beam, Limit 2 Assura, Limit 3 Reactor, Limit 3 Reincarnation, that could work, but that now punishes everyone else that wants to play Reincarnation. So, for example, Dragon Fusion plays Reincarnation, and now you're telling them they can't play it because they can't now use it with their 3 Dragius. Which is a deck that already has been told they're not allowed to use their Phoenix Dragon, which would be the other... You know, the reason they run Reincarnation is because they don't have Phoenix Dragon. It's like it has a weird knock-on effect, right? But then again, at the same time, does it matter? Does it matter that we hurt Dragon Fusion? The deck, realistically, is doing fine, but it's not doing good. It's not winning tournaments. It's not performing well. It's not consistently seeing top 8 finishes. Maybe it doesn't actually matter if we hit it, you know? Isn't that fine? No, Metarian doesn't need to be tier 0. I mean, that's basically, yeah, that's what we were saying. Maybe they could change the skill that it mills fusion instead of reincarnation. I like that idea as well. So I still think Reactor becomes an issue because, one, again, other decks can play Reactor. That's a big issue already, as we got to see us using it, right? Just having a deck or any deck being able to just jam this thing in that just gives them a free pot of greed is insane. Even if we take it away from other decks and we still leave it with just Metarian, it's still very, 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 very good. Especially when you consider a fusion for other decks is a 4-card investment. So for most of the time, it should be a 5-card investment because it's normal summon, tribute to summon your boss, normal summon the vanilla, fusion. But because of all the skills, we don't have to get that fusion. It's only a 4-card investment, right? So their 4-card investment means that if you're drawing 2 cards, that's a potential 50% of a fusion. Whereas Metarian only need 3 cards to make a fusion monster, every time you draw 2, you're potentially drawing 66% of a fusion. And in a deck that also plays things like Star Restart, you play effectively 6 copies of Imaginary Actor, and you play like 9 to 12 copies of like vanillas at the other half of your fusion. Again, it makes it very, very easy and very, very simple to get your fusions out, and it just makes them plussing feel that much better for them, right? Just give us better... TCB combo is only as bad as it is because most decks don't have more than 1 minute out. That is the true crux of this argument, Shari. If we had better trap cards, it wouldn't matter that there's an OTK deck going around because you'd have more ways to not get OTK'd, right? The issue that we're having is I don't want to be OTK'd. I don't want to have to play in a certain way as to prevent myself getting OTK'd. Therefore, if we just, again, we don't change any of the Metarion stuff, but we just have less ways to get OTK'd, that solves the problem immediately. The downside is going to be more traps does mean the game will naturally slow down. That is just a fact. Traps slow the game down. That's what they're designed to do. And, you know, Konami don't necessarily want a slower game. And the other flip side is, not all traps are created equally. Some traps for specific types are a lot better than others. So by releasing, for example, the good machine ones, that allow you like change an attacking monster to defense mode, but only if a machine's being attacked, that doesn't help spellcasters, right? Spellcasters are still going to get rolled. They don't have a trap like that, right? That's just how Rush is, unfortunately. That's just the way the world is. So if you release the generic versions of these, it becomes very difficult because now we're looking for generic cards that stop you from getting OTK'd. Suddenly those cards are like far flung from the future. They're a lot more powerful. It's like bringing like Shiny Shady into Duel Links right now. Doesn't feel like it would be very good. Like that card is a modern card that sees play right now in the physical OCG. So it's like bringing that out just feels weird. And I feel like it's like that would now just be a staple forever, right? Unless something like drastic changes. The problem is it's not an easy problem to solve, right? That it's good to just have a conversation about potential ways to fix this issue. Because, I mean, I'll show you, we can have a look at the tournament results after this, but Metarion is so far ahead of every other deck. So far away. It's actually insane. Magic Cylinder Limit 3 when? So, Magic Cylinder is a really weird card because Magic Cylinder sort of came out as a way to stop all of the big OTK decks. So, for example, we had like Cyber Dragon, we had a lot of the Maximums come out. We had a lot of ways where you could just get one giant guy, Eternal Galactica Oblivion. But there were a lot of ways where you would just go, I'm making a 5 to like 10,000 attack dude. And the meta sort of became that for a while because there weren't really trap cards to deal with it, not very well. And there was a lot of like trap protection effects. So effects that say like, this turn, this card cannot be destroyed by trap cards. So because we entered a meta like that, releasing Magic Cylinder became a deterrent. Because now it was like, right, do you want to put all your eggs in the one basket? Do you want to go very tall into one big guy and then slam in? Because you could get punished by a cylinder. So it incentivized going wide. Which is generally a better way for the game to be, I think. I think rather than stacking all the power on one guy, I do prefer it when we instead build a board, right? And that's, you know, that's what Magic Cylinder was for. The flip side to that is when you go wide, you now get punished by Mirror Force. But we don't have either of those cards right now. So it's like Magic Cylinder also has like some other weird shit going on because like just hitting it on a 3,000 guy is still very impactful, especially when you have 2,000 as life points, right? Like, it's a very complex issue of, like, how to deal with the problem. Is there any easy fix for it? I think the easiest fix is just nerf Metarion. I think that's the easiest. It's not necessarily the nicest. It's not necessarily what's the most healthy. It is the easiest. And it's like, is Konami going to go for something that's easy or something that's good for the game? Because they seem to kind of go 50-50. Right, this song is... I'm sorry, this is too somber for right now. There we go, this will be better. Alright. So we have Bismuth going full defensive against the Ashura Star. So Bismuth has committed the cardinal sin, right? Now, I'm sure all of the Metarion players in the chat probably already know what he's done. Manikist will probably point it out in a second, but Bismuth has done the thing you never do when playing Metarion. Which now means this is very much Bismuth's game to lose. So, assuming Bismuth has access to a back row he can use, he can force a way out of this. But again, it also depends what's in the graveyard. Ah, this could be a very tricky game for Bismuth now. Yep, now just stall them out. It sucks because we don't really want to be stalling, but if your opponent's basically given you... He hasn't, like, Bismuth hasn't, like, lost the game, right? But he's put himself in a very bad spot. He needs to draw Arc Turbo to play. Exactly. But it's like, if his 3 back row are locked, right? If they're not activatable, then you can't even do that, right? It's very, very tricky. Okay. Yeah, we don't even pop back row. We don't need to. Now, we're telling our opponent that even if they do get the thing, he now needs to do it twice in a row. This is very awkward. Right, I am going to take this opportunity, though, to pop to the old water closet. So, I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. And we're back in the room. Alright, I missed who won that. I'm going to assume it was not Bismuth. That's going to be my current working theory. Now it's time for a Sea Shanty 2 remix. Let's go. Okay, so we are going to turn 1... go ahead and throw the reincarnation into the graveyard. So this is something Bismuth surrendered. I mean, I expected that, considering how quickly it just kind of finished. Who here is in the camp of throw reincarnation in the graveyard ASAP? And who here is in the camp of throw reincarnation into the graveyard only when you need it? In case you hard draw it and you can use the reactor twice over the course of the game. Because I go back and forth on this quite a lot. I personally, I think I would rather have a chance to draw into it. And the times when you would have wanted to use the skill for something else, that's also during the turn that you draw your reactor, I feel like those don't come up too often. Okay, here comes Gun. Gun revealing the Juggler. We're going to convert just the one monster into a spellcaster, because we don't need to turn a spellcaster into a spellcaster. Yep, throw, because if you draw it, it's dead unless you have 2 reactor in hand. The thing is, so my counter argument to that would be, you don't need to do it twice in one turn. Right? You can just activate it, get anything, reactor, put it back, and then you still have the ability to throw it into the graveyard the next time you draw a reactor. I see, like, people that play this deck, they still do 50-50. Sometimes they will just shotgun it into the graveyard turn 1, sometimes they won't. And this is, like, people that are winning tournaments with this deck and everything. Like, it still seems to be up in the air as to what people have actually decided is the correct, like, line. Ooh, so Bismuth, we do know is playing Call of the Earthbound. The only time you ever feel, like, safe, quote-unquote, to, like, go very aggressive with Matarian in the mirror is when you have a trap card to protect you. So he could have, for example, you know, we could have, I guess, Call of the Earthbound and a negate attack back there, right? Call of the Earthbound basically requires you to have a defense position monster. Otherwise, Call of the Earthbound doesn't really do anything. Okay, let's see what... I should really find out what this guy's name is. Like, I suppose I can just do that. We can just check. We have the technology to translate names. Japanese. That person's messenger. Okay, that tells me very little. Ano Okata no Sukai is it in Japanese. Okay. So, it's an open board. We have lethal on board, so we don't actually have to do anything. We are going to use the skill to dump a imaginary actor. We go for the direct attack, that's 28. We go for the direct attack, and that is 14. So, it looks like Messenger did draw into a handful of spells, presumably, and just could not do anything. So, that will be seeing us into a game 3 to find out who the better Matarian player truly is. It's a weird one. I feel like Bismuth's loss was because, like, he played it a bit awkwardly, right? He managed to get 3 defense position pieces without having any actors, which, like, bricked him up, and then his opponent exploited that. Whereas Bismuth's win feels like Messenger bricked. So, like, it's a bit of a weird perspective. I feel like, again, we keep hitting, like, really somber music, and we're like, we want something exciting for a grand finals. What do we go for? Let's go for this. Alright, grand final, game 3. Let's see who's going to take it. I mean, we've got to be rooting for Bismuth, right? We can't not root for Bismuth. Alright, Bismuth is going to be going first. Now, the turn 1 for Matarian is usually pretty mundane. We did manage to get the whole hand empty. We have got 3 monsters as well. So now we just need to, again, hope that those monsters are a mix of actors and non-actors. We are going to turn 1, dump the reincarnation into the bin. And we'll summon out the reactor. So this is only going to be a 7-card play. If you do this when you go first, you got to, like, a 12-card play, which is a lot more dangerous. The other Matarian player is Masaka. He changed his Tonemel name again. Who is Masaka, though? Like, that's the thing. I don't necessarily know, like, all of these players. Like, if they're changing their names all the time, I just will lose track of who they are. That is just going to happen. Okay. But it did get us back the fusion. I assume we didn't really care about the actor, but, like, it was nice that it was in there. we are going to go straight into Ashura Star. So now the question is, do we just pop a back row? I think we probably do pop a back row here. Unless we're able to, like, make 3 guys, which we're probably not going to be doing here. Ashura Star is a bit weird here. I think you'd always rather have Vritra Star in this situation. But, you know, popping back row is still good. Player that won Angel Cup with Galaxy 2 weeks ago. WCS Speed dual participant. I see. So one of the well-knowns in the community. Good at Rush and Speed. Alright, so this board is a little bit awkward, right? If we were to TCB combo this, we could get in for quite a lot. This is like 56. This is lethal with TCB combo. So if we have back row hate and just gun combo, we just win the game. Alright, well, it looks like we don't have it. We do not have the full combo. We are instead just going to be boosting up Sword Dancer up to 29. Setting 2. Setting a back row. So it looks like our hand was very monster cluttered. I mean, this is an okay position. I think the scariest thing that happens here now is probably just Vritra Star comes down and starts applying a lot of pressure. Because when it's Vritra Star, you can't ignore it. You have to out Vritra Star. But we do already have Turbo in rotation. So as long as we just have a 1400 guy and a card to discard, we're probably going to be fine. So we still have so many cards to play with. We've got 8. We have 8 cards to work with. Oh, we discard Sir Painter. Are we also clogged up with monsters? So assuming we have access to fusion, we can make Hercules Star, but like, what does that do for us? Oh, we do just have the second. Wait, do we not have access to fusion? Oh. You even bother attacking in this? I mean, we've got less attack on the board, so a combo doesn't punish us as bad. We've got no face down monsters, so Ashura can't pop and then get in for bonus hits. Metarian only bricking against other Metarians. To be fair, Metarian can brick, like, not that rarely. Like, they do brick a fair amount of the time. It's just the deck is like, it almost feels like it's such a well-oiled machine that, like, even when you brick, you still get to, like, empty your hand. You still get to do things. You can't necessarily do your, like, good plays. Like, you can't necessarily just make fusions constantly. But, like, you still get to, like, do stuff. They're colluding to show how fair and not broken the deck is. Well, it's one of those things as well, where Metarian can play around Metarian quite well. Like, you have all the tools that you need to. So usually in Metarian Mirrors, the game is a bit slower. It is a bit more of a control game. Well, we've got most of the hand empty. True, they brick, and next turn they draw OTK combo. I mean, they definitely can, but the OTK combo only works if your opponent lets it work, right? You have to be, you know, you have to have the face-up monsters. You have to have enough attack on the board. You have to leave the right monsters in attack position. So, like, I think that's why a lot of people are very defending of the combo slash Overlord, because it only works if your opponent overextends. The argument then becomes, what is overextending versus just playing the game, right? Because if it punishes you just for playing, that kind of feels kind of shitty. If it punishes you for, you know, leaving a weak monster in attack mode, that's fair enough. You left a weak monster in attack mode, right? What would you like to see skill-wise from the rerun? I think they'll make a skill that changes types of one monster. I think that would be pretty cool. I would like a skill that searches Poly and changes the type of one monster on the field. I think that feels healthier, because then you're not just using React at a +2 constantly. You're not OTKing people most of the time. At least if you are, it is at a such smaller degree. So I would like to see, again, like we were saying, like TCB hit and reactor hit, so only you can play it. Maybe limit the amount of reactors you can have. We haven't quite decided how we would do that, but do something along those lines. And then make it so that you use the skill to change one monster's type. And that way you can still get the benefit of using your second effects without it feeling like super oppressive. So I think that wouldn't kill the deck, but it would weaken it substantially. Alright. Unfortunately, the Metarian Mirror is either really exciting or really slow. And this is a good example of what happens when it's slow. Okay. So, like, this is bait, right? Like, we're baiting Bismuth into going aggressive. Now we put them back in defense. Ah, okay, so we have traps to protect us, and we're putting them face up so we don't get blown out by a Shurstar popping one of them. What the fuck is this game state? Are both of them just waiting to OTK? So it's less waiting to OTK, and more... I don't want to put my cards on the table until I feel safe that I can create a favorable game state, right? So both players are like, I want to make like Vritstar and have like 2 face-up defense position monsters or 2 face-down defense. Because it depends, right? If you want to go for like the controlly, I'm going to whittle you down, you want to make like Vritstar with 2 face-downs. But if you have them all face-up, you now get punished by TCB combo, right? So it's like you either play against one or you play against the other. You play around the other. So like, it's not easy. It's very tricky. So we go for the Ashura Star. So we could... So we're just going to pop a back row. Is this worth doing? I almost think you're better off just holding. But then if you make one Vritstar, you can only change one of them face up. So you could have flipped one up, gained 24. 24 is not a lot, realistically. You got to 52. Slam in. It's not going to be lethal, and you're not going to get any other damage in. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky game to navigate. So I feel like the deck is so versatile that if you play around one thing, you don't play around the other. You get punished by the other. That is really not what you want to hit there. I mean, arguably that could save you, to be fair, but... Because being able to activate Turbo without having the inability to deal damage. Okay. So Bismuth has already sent 1 Call of the Earthbound to the graveyard. Now we don't know if he's playing 2 or he's only playing 1. I don't like this play. So the fact we've set a card could indicate that we have a second Call of the Earthbound. So it looks like we just didn't have a TCB. If we had TCB, what we could have done... No, because it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because when we used the skill, we couldn't do any damage. We should have used the skill before we set the middle card, but I think that's a very common mistake a lot of people make, is they'll see it afterwards. They hadn't decided they were going to use the skill until right at the end of the turn. There's the negate attack. Deliberately waited. So now he's freed up space so he can do whatever he wants. There's so much that could happen here, right? Like, if we are able to pop both the back row, we could just go for, like... I mean, even TCB combo won't just end the game. But it could be close. We've only got 8 cards to work with. And in the grand scheme of things, 8 cards is not a lot for this deck. Once again, we keep getting, like, really somber music. What's coming up next? No, we can't have that. Here we go. This should be a bit more bombastic, at least when it picks up. Alright, TCB comes down. So we could reveal a spellcaster. We are going to reveal a warrior. So this is not lethal, right? Because we change them both to warriors. We summon out the Ashura Star. We gain their attack. We gain 56. We still have to run into a 28, which still won't be lethal. We'd need like TSA or something. Not gonna lie, I won't even play the spellcaster and put more traps in. Is there a fusion that needs 2 Masaki? There is a fusion in the future. I think there is. I lose track of them because there's quite a few. I think there are 2 different fusions that use Yeast and Masaki. There's obviously the one we've just got, Hero of the Kin, which is 2 Yeast. I can't remember if there's one for 2 Masaki. So, you can get that back, but if you activate it... Wait. Haven't we... What? Guys, am I missing something? Oh, so we weren't planning to get any damage in at all. This whole play was just to clear both? But that means we've left this board. Unless, like, we've seen that, like, all of our opponents... I think we might have just seen all 3 TCB in the graveyard. 1, 2... Yeah, all 3 TCB are in the bin. So we don't have to play around TCB combo anymore. So now, what's the scariest thing that could happen? Like, make Vitristar change Ashura to defense, slap into it? Would you even do that? You might, but you still have to play around your opponents, assuming your opponent still has TCB left. Okay. If we can make a second Vitristar, can we potentially find lethal? So Vitristar gets 1400 damage in. That will put him down to 22. If that set card, oh yeah, if that was an actor or reactor, we could have found lethal with a double Vitristar play. Now that's not on the table. So we are going to activate the Star Restart. So how are we looking at this now? So right now... Oh, that back row is turbo. It's turbo that we got last turn, so we won't be able to do... So it won't negate our damage. So that means if we use that, we'll gain the 15, go up to 43. 43 attacks over for, what, 29? And then we just need any fusion and we win. So as long as we can make a fusion, which we know we can, if that last card in hand, I think we just win. I think Bismuth wins. Let's see. Makes the Ashura Star. Activate Ashura Star. Activate Turbo. Yeah, this is just lethal. So this is going to be Bismuth as the champion, winning in the mirror. Some very interesting plays from both players there, I think. Like, neither of them necessarily did anything, like, super wrong, but it was, like, it was interesting, to say the least. Alright, and that is Bismuth as the champion. So congratulations to Bismuth. We will be seeing him as the tournament winner overall. Absolute Chad. one of the top player council, and Bismarck is also part of the Rush Duel, like, I don't know what the hell they're called. People that make tier lists. So Bismarck, very good member of the community. Also does some fantastic stuff on Twitter, where he does do a lot of breakdowns of both speed and rush tournaments. We're going to have to fill this out as well, actually. So we can fill out some of this now. So we know that the winner was playing Metarian. We know that second place was Metarian. We were playing Machine Good Stuff. We know that this was Dwan on Light Galaxy. What did we beat in the top? We beat Warrior Fusion. We know that Dwan was against Light Galaxy. I don't know if we know the others, but we've at least got this much. So we'll leave it like this for now. But if we go ahead and rearrange this, we can take a look at the updated stats. And if we come down here, we can see Metarian is still 47% of top 4. And we can see that Light Galaxy is still 30%. So these two decks on their own is 77% of the meta, you know, getting top 4 in tournaments. Which is absolutely insane. It is actually crazy just how much of the meta is just Metarian Light Galaxy. Cyber Dragon's doing alright though, it's hanging in there. Definitely hanging in there. Warrior Fusion's there. Machine Good Stuff is somehow in here. What's the last deck in there? It's E-Hero. Element, this is Georfio. This little slice, this is just Georfio. What we should probably do as well is actually make this look a little bit better for everyone else, because this looks kind of naff right now. There we go. That's almost what we want. There we go. But yeah, definitely Metarian is it's doing quite well, let's say. I mean, if we look, Metarian is at the very least in the top 2 of every single tournament this format, except Angel Cup 28, where it was a Light Galaxy mirror. But other than that, Metarian's been in top 2 and just so much. It's won 8 tournaments. The next highest at the moment is 2. Points in top 4, 62 to 40. It's actually just disgusting how well this deck is doing. Now, in top 8, to be fair, it's doing quite, you know, quite comparative to Light Galaxy. So there is at least that. Top 4, again, it's not too much of a disparity, but when you actually get to like the winners and losers, Metarian is definitely the stronger deck. So we were going to jump in and do some speed, but we'd have to finish it in half an hour anyway, and I don't know if half an hour of speed is really going to be worth it. So we are probably just going to call it here. But we did have a really good stream. We had a lot of fun. And we actually did make top 4, which we were just not expecting to do at all. So we are very, very happy with our performance. We, again, were just kind of YOLOing a lot of the plays, but that's because we play so badly on stream. Like, I cannot begin to stress just how much worse we play on stream compared to not on stream. But we will be back again on Tuesday when I assume... I don't know what we're doing on Tuesday, to be honest. We might be doing some more speed. We might be doing some more rush. We will have to wait and find out. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.